Hello dear viewers, and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Today, as always, we invite you to step with us behind the gates of palaces and the veneer of ceremony, to explore not just the pageantry, but the evolving heart of the British royal family. In this edition, we're focusing on a series of extraordinary recent developments centering on His Royal Highness Prince William, the Prince of Wales and heir to the British throne. Through these events, we gain a rare glimpse into how tradition meets transformation, and how a single royal engagement can reflect the subtle but seismic ways the monarchy continues to adapt in a turbulent world. Before we fully immerse ourselves in this captivating story, please take a moment to show your support, like this video, subscribe, and join our community of viewers who seek not just headlines, but the context and nuance behind them. Your engagement truly helps us bring you these stories in greater depth. Our journey today begins at the historic Kensington Palace, a residence that has for centuries been the setting for royal childhoods, marriages, scandals, and transformations. But on this occasion, the palace's ancient brick walls bore witness to something unusually modern, an act of royal outreach that extended not to the great and the good, but to those working in the very crucible of crisis, the humanitarian aid workers of the Palestinian Red Crescent Society, known worldwide by their acronym, PRCS. It is impossible to overstate the importance of this engagement. Prince William's decision to invite these frontline heroes into the dignified, wood-panelled rooms of Kensington Palace speaks volumes. The PRCS staff operate under some of the most dangerous and challenging conditions imaginable, risking their lives daily to deliver food, water, and medical care to those caught in the crossfire of conflict. Their courage, their quiet persistence, and their stories of hope amid devastation are seldom given the global spotlight they deserve. At the meeting, Prince William listened, truly listened, as the aid workers recounted the overwhelming needs, the logistical hurdles, the harrowing realities they face on the ground. They described families torn apart by violence, children in desperate need of medical attention, and the daily struggle to secure even the most basic resources. It was not a photo op, but a deep, focused exchange, and the prince's empathy was palpable. In the aftermath, Kensington Palace released a statement. The words, though brief, carried immense gravity. The Prince of Wales continues to follow the humanitarian situation in the Middle East closely. While at first glance this might appear formulaic, those familiar with royal communication know that such a public reaffirmation is anything but routine. It signaled a sustained and personal concern from a future monarch over one of the world's most volatile crises, a moment of royal engagement that resonates far beyond Britain's borders. But to truly understand the weight of this moment, we must look back to earlier this year, to a different, but directly connected, event. In February, Prince William did what few heirs have done before him. He stepped into the public arena and issued a statement on the Gaza conflict that was, for royal standards, bold and unambiguous. During a visit to the British Red Cross headquarters, he urged the world to recognize the desperate need for increased humanitarian support to Gaza, called for urgent access for aid, and notably, for the release of hostages and an immediate end to the fighting. For generations, the ironclad convention has been that members of the royal family, above all the monarch and the heir, remain absolutely neutral in international disputes. Their role is to symbolize unity, to represent all subjects, and to steer clear of political controversy. But here, Prince William seemed to draw a new line. His words, poignant and urgent, represented a calculated decision to use his global platform to highlight the humanitarian imperative. According to sources close to the palace and cited by reputable newspapers, this was not a spontaneous remark, but the result of deep reflection and consultation. William, fully aware of the gravity and historical weight of his position, deliberately chose to break from tradition, prioritizing moral leadership over protocol. This act was not lost on the international press or on governments worldwide. It marked a subtle shift, perhaps the beginning of a new era, in which the heir to the throne might, at times, be a voice for conscience, not just continuity. The move was praised by many humanitarian groups, while also drawing inevitable scrutiny from those who defend the strict neutrality of the monarchy. But regardless of where one stands, it is clear that Prince William is carving out a distinctive path, one that may well shape the nature of the crown for generations to come. The significance of this recent meeting with PRCS workers, and the palace's subsequent reaffirmation of his focus, must also be viewed against a backdrop of diplomatic drama involving the king himself. While Prince William navigates humanitarian engagement, his father, King Charles III, finds himself at the heart of high-stakes statecraft. The British government, it is reported, has been moving forward with plans for a second state visit by former US President Donald Trump, a visit loaded with symbolism and sensitive diplomatic questions. It is important to appreciate what state visits represent in British life. They are meticulously choreographed, public affirmations of the relationship between the United Kingdom and its allies. They involve ceremonial welcomes, state banquets, and meetings at the very highest level. The palace is the stage, and the royal family its principal cast. But according to recent reports, this time, the script may be more complicated than usual. Why? Because the invitation, it is claimed, was extended over the private reluctance of King Charles himself. The reason? Canada. Charles, not just King of Britain but also head of state for Canada, a vast and fiercely independent Commonwealth realm, was reportedly unsettled by previous remarks made by Mr. Trump, who had speculated publicly about the possibility of Canada becoming America's 51st state. For a king who has repeatedly affirmed the sovereignty and unique identity of Canada, who has quoted their national anthem and celebrated their true north, strong and free, the prospect of hosting a guest who appeared to trivialize that independence could only be described as awkward. And yet, the monarchy is not a law unto itself. In Britain's constitutional system, the government holds the power to invite foreign leaders, and the king is obliged, however reluctantly, to act on the advice of his ministers. The delicate tension between private conviction and public duty is an ancient feature of royal life, but rarely has it been so public. It is in this context that Prince William's actions take on even greater significance. As the king navigates the hazardous currents of global diplomacy, the Prince of Wales is quietly, but unmistakably, positioning himself as a new kind of royal statesman, one who is not afraid to lend his voice to humanitarian causes, even when it means stepping outside the safety of protocol. What does all this tell us about the evolving monarchy? On one hand, the crown remains rooted in tradition. King Charles, upholding the rituals and duties of his office, acting, when he must, on the advice of government, and embracing the diplomatic complexities that come with the throne. On the other, we see a new kind of leadership emerging. Prince William, using his platform to shine a light on global suffering, building bridges with humanitarian organizations, and showing a willingness to take moral stands when conscience calls. These twin currents, tradition and transformation, are not in conflict, but in dynamic tension. As the world changes, so too must its oldest institutions, and in these subtle shifts, we catch a glimpse of the monarchy's possible future, relevant, compassionate, and ready to meet the challenges of the 21st century. For viewers who have followed the royal family for decades, these changes may seem both exhilarating and disorienting. The question, always, is how far can the crown go in adapting without sacrificing its core? What role will Prince William play as he moves closer to the throne? Will he continue to advocate publicly on humanitarian issues? Will his future reign see the crown as both symbol and actor, as both tradition and conscience? This latest series of events, William's landmark meeting with aid workers, his bold public statement on Gaza, and the palace's reaffirmation of his focus all unfold against a larger tapestry, the monarchy's enduring struggle to remain meaningful in a rapidly changing world. Meanwhile, King Charles is quietly shouldering the weight of state, even as his personal feelings are tested by political realities beyond his control. As we reflect on these developments, we are reminded that the story of the royal family is, above all, a human story, one of individuals navigating duty, history, and their own values in the public eye. Prince William's willingness to listen, to engage, and to speak out is more than a single news item. It is a window into what may be the defining character of the next reign. We invite you, as always, to share your thoughts in the comments. How do you view Prince William's decision to speak out on humanitarian crises? Do you see the monarchy's role in international affairs changing for the better or risking its neutrality? What do you think about the King's reported reluctance regarding the Trump state visit and the tensions surrounding Canada? Don't forget to like this video if you found it insightful, and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaping the royal family. Your engagement helps us bring you even more in-depth and thoughtful content. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time as we continue to explore the evolving world behind the palace gates.